sometimes they switch off. But they travelled away to Brekum, where thrashed 3-0. Their form has been inconsistent. Lose, win, draw, lose. That's how it's been for them. But if you take a look at their home, they've only lost once. And that was towards the end. That was December 2023. But again, as I said, when they sleep, they do sleep deep. And they conceded 4 goals against Bichim United. And they also have to think about Mukwala. He's got 8 goals, I believe, in the league so far. He's been given a call-up. Paul Joseph Potts, the coach of Uganda. So that's good against Comoros and the Black Stars, interestingly, in Marrakesh. So that call-up for Bukwala would also boost his confidence. He would want to justify that, he deserves that call-up. But the form guide quickly tells you that Kotoko, also, they don't concede at all. If they lose, it's just by that odd goal. They haven't also been scoring a lot, Nana.
Yeah, when you look at the Kotoko, when they are playing at the Babaya Sports Stadium, they struggle to score beyond 1 goal. 1-0, 2-1, those are the scoreline Kotoko normally gets when they are playing at home. And away performance before the end of the first one was quite okay until we started the second one. Then when they lost to Pando Heart of Lions by 1-0. So maybe today they may pick an away win, but it's a difficult ground. So looking at what Abubakar Idamba is doing for KARELA United, they have a strong team, especially when they are playing at home, and they want to survive in the Ghana Premier League. When we look at the league log, KARELA, Wafakwatano, House of Lions, RTU, it looks like KARELA is picking up at the right time. When we look at how the league table is going on, I think they need to get at least a good point against ASANTE KOTOKO today. So, if Kotoko really want to pick the maximum 3 points, they need to play beyond what we've seen in recent times, especially the game against Pando Heart of Lions, to get a result today.
Yeah, and 15th is a deadly position for them. So I think, all these matches is about survival. So they will be going in this with that do-or-die attitude. They just can't afford to lose, knowing that Bofakwatano will be playing against Hearts, and the Heart of Lions would also be looking for 3 points. They would want to get their 3 points to keep away from that relegation dogfight from 16, 17, 18 position.
It's been very difficult for KARELA as a team. Being on the 15th position on the league table, having only 20 points out of over 19 games that you have played, and then looking at the number of goals that they have scored, only 15 goals, and then conceding as many as 23 goals. They do not have a very good record at the moment on the league table, and then to have lost virtually almost 3 games of yours in your last 5 games, and then to have only a single victory in all those matches, and then heading into this game playing against a team that they've really found difficult in order to beat you, and then you recently even beat them as well, that is Kotoko. It's going to be very tough for them, but the only morale that KARELA is going to pick from this game ahead of it is the fact that they are playing at home. They have very good record at home. They've lost just a single game in their last 13 home games that they have played, and then they are playing before their fans. They have the huge support and other to go all out, and then they are going to play against Kotoko that has failed to win on their 2 on the road attempts that they have made, suffering a defeat in the hands of a team like Heart of Lions, and then suffering a defeat again where they played against KARELA itself at the Tamale Sports Stadium. It's been very difficult for them. So, and I believe this is a game that the 2 teams will have to go all out. But then again, I believe that in as much as Kotoko will have to get all the 3 points in order to close the gap difference that they have between them and then Samates, KARELA on the other hand will have to improve a little bit and leapfrog and have a very good standing so far as the league table is concerned from the 15th that they are currently are.
Absolutely. So yeah, big game for the 2 sides, and the others will be watching with keen interest to see how that would work out. Kotoko looking to get closer and perhaps go to the apex of the table. KARELA looking to move away from that danger. So it's 2 sides really bent on getting the 3 points. No court will be taken, and our crew already in the north, making sure they'll bring us coverage of that game first time from that venue. We're looking forward to it on that AstroTurf as well. We'll take a look at the other fixtures again at the end of the show, and the permutations depending on what happens in this particular game. But in recent times, Prosper Ogun has declined or has decided not to talk. He's allowed Oklu to do that for him, and it's been quite interesting. We're not too sure what Prosper Ogun's mindset is. Oklu speaks for the club, but it's always good to hear from the main man, the coach himself. Is that an issue for you guys, or it's irrelevant? If you're the coach of a club, that your fans want to hear from you,
Now let's say when you look at the situation, just imagine all the 18 teams. Their head coach don't speak after games. He leaves those duties to the assistant coach. Obviously, we'll be able to question about that. Why is the head coach there? The assistant coach is always speaking. Maybe it's about Kotoko. That is why people are quiet. But I think the head coach, Edu Baby, so to make casa. He needs to speak so that people will hear anything about the game that was being played. So I think sometimes you need to come out after one crucial game where Ogun Beckham said most of these players are politicians within the club.
Since then.
He doesn't speak to the fans again. On it, the media team doesn't speak after games. Only Oklu speaks. So I think it's about time, the FA and the leaders around the Premier League to speak to Ogun so that he can speak to the supporters after games. And I think they need to work on that.
Yeah, quite a few experienced players in the KARELA setup. We saw the former Hearts captain Fatah there coming out. Abukar Damba is also very experienced. He's a CAF instructor, amongst others, goalkeepers coach, a lot of experience. So it's not as if it's a new terrain for them. They just have to really focus well and hard in order to contain ASANTE KOTOKO, Esther.
KARELA have quite a very good team. In their defense, they can boast of the likes of Rashid, the likes of Yahaya, and then Anaful. And then in midfield, they have two very experienced players there to count on, the likes of Maxwell and then Mohammed as well in the heart of midfield. And then in recent times, we've seen a player like Solomon Abuaje banging in the goals for them in the absence of Domako. Solomon has been doing the job, and he has been well aided by another player, another striker in the person of Gias, who has equally been getting them very crucial and critical goals in matches that they really are looking forward to. So, and this is a new game altogether for them. And then I believe that they would want to go all out and then make sure that the 3 points, which is the most important ingredient after all, it's what they will be going all out for.
Yeah, Mensa, Zeze Nuruddin, not too sure. Ansu Kalu has not really had a, he started a couple of games when Kotoko got those late winners with his head. Since then, he's not really had consistency, but he was present in their last couple of games. I think Lamte should return. He was absent in their last game as well. And we know Justice Blay has been very consistent since his long-term injury. How has that affected the club, Blay, in terms of his presence and his influence, Nana?
I think since he came back to this Kotoko team, they've lost only one game in the Premier League. That is against Kwando House of Lions. And he has been consistent for the club, and he's playing with a lot of confidence in the Kotoko team now. When you look at the Kotoko team, at the right side, they have about 4 players, but most of them don't start games for Kotoko this time round. They still rely on the likes of Justice Blay to some extent. In the second half, they bring in Emmanuel Kotti to support him. So it tells you he's playing with a lot of confidence, and the 3-back system, Abuano, that was the style of play, and is bringing the best out of Justice Blay. It looks like the young guys are taking over the midfield. Rocky Jamina, Ivan Stray Jamina, Sharif Mohammed, Richmond Lamte. So Justice Blay struggled to get a position in the midfield play. That is why the 3-back system has brought the best out of him in recent times in the Kotoko games. So I think that is the reason why he's playing more games for ASANTE KOTOKO in recent times. And the good thing is Henry Asu is in the team, and now Nicolas Osebo to make the first 11, and of course Richmond Lamte, the captain, is back into the first 11. So that is a good sign for ASANTE KOTOKO Football Club. When you monitor Kotoko games in recent times, when Lamte is not playing well, they struggle. When it's not in the first 11, Kotoko team, they struggle. So coming back into this team will help ASANTE KOTOKO Football Club.
And then again, the starting lineup based on coach Dr. Prosper Ogum, who isn't willing to speak at the moment, but what are the right moments? He has these charges ahead of the game. The likes of Frederick Asari, their regular, is going to be in goal post for them. And then Justice Blay, just like Nana mentioned, is also starting for Kumasi ASANTE KOTOKO today. And then Eric Zeze is starting the game for Kotoko. Stephen Makwala, that everybody is virtually tipping to get a goal for Kotoko, is equally starting for them. And then Henry Ansu, and then Richmond Lamte is back. He's going to captain the team as well. And then Nicolas Osei-Bonsu, and then Peter Amidou, and then they have Nicolas Mensah, John Tedeku, and then Rocky Dramana. So these are the 11 players that coach Prosper Ogum is counting on them to give him a lifeline whilst they play against KARELA, a turf that has always been very difficult for them.
No doubt about that. And there is also talk of distractions, but so far we're not maybe seeing the effects of that. Talk about potentially Mukwala joining Accra as a Vogue, and whether or not it's just speculation, whether or not indeed the players' agents are in communication with Accra as a Vogue, but it's all over the place. It will be interesting to see if Coach Oklu would address it and how the player himself would conduct himself on the pitch. Sometimes these things would give the player an excuse not to be at his best or play better than he would normally play to silence the rumors. But what do we know about Nana, that Hearts of Oak have begun to talk to the agents or the managers of Mukwala?
I think, Mukwala signed a 2-year contract with ASANTE KOTOKO Football Club. At the end of the season, the contract comes to an end. And as it stands now, Mukwala and Richmond Lamte are key players to ASANTE KOTOKO Football Club. Kotoko would like to extend. One of the highest paid players in the local scene. I understand he takes around $2,000 for ASANTE KOTOKO. But it's in the clause of his contract that we decided to extend here. They will pay him $4,000 in the local league. That is where Kotoko is struggling to agree terms with Steve Mukwala to extend his contract for ASANTE KOTOKO Football Club. He's an important player for them. I think one of the best strikers we have in the local scene. I would like him to extend his contract with ASANTE KOTOKO. But there is this report coming in that there's a club from Algeria, ESCTIF, looking for his service, and they are ready to pay somewhere around $7,000 a month for his service. So when a player finds himself in a situation like this, it's difficult for ASANTE KOTOKO.
For sure, a tactic by Hearts of Oak fans, Masha.
Hearts of Oak,
just to destabilize Kotoko dressing room. Hearts
of Oak were paying Junior Kaba $5,000 in the local scene. So paying $4,000 for a player.
I'm asking Junior Kaba.
He was a player for Hearts of Oak, and they were paying $5,000
for
running.
Most of these foreign players, when they come to this country, they take more money, much more than the local players.
You're swerving my question. What was special about him?
He didn't live up to expectations. Yeah. So,
why is this chap? Is it Ivuka? If I've got the
Ivuka.
Radio Ivuka.
I love that player.
Yeah, they are left back.
He hardly had a bad game for Hearts of Oak. Fantastic player,
left back in the
Congolese, So straight away, Oka foreign players from other parts of Africa. He's one of those that comes to mind.
Yes, one of the players about Hearts of Oak. And this time around, Gledo Tanga and of course Linda Intangi, they are doing well for the club. I think $4,000 now in the local scene, I think clubs should be able to pay.
Interesting. Okay. But I know Hearts of Oak too, and then I know we're looking forward to Kotoko and Karela, but Hearts of Oak have also got a new captain, and many people felt a surprise. Esther, what do you think? What do you make of Ouattara's choice of Agbesima?
Well, Agbesima, you would say that as a Hearts fan, they would think that maybe he was just recently with the club, and if we look at the precedent that is involved in when it comes to selection of coaches, of captains, it usually has to do with the number of years perhaps that the player has been in terms of the experience he has garnered, and that his leadership qualities as well. But let's not also forget the fact that coaches are at liberty to choose a player that they think would be able to have a very good command in their dressing room, and then have a very good leadership skills as well on the pitch of play. And then so to have appointed a player like Agbesima for him to be the captain of Accra Hearts of Oak, I believe that it's about what the coach has seen in him and what he believes that he will be able to, the task that he has mandated him to execute, that he believes that Kofi would be able to do it better than let's say maybe the deputy who is Richard Atta, who has been given the deputy for their captaincy. But I don't think this should cause unrest in the dressing room for Accra Hearts of Oak, because in their last few games that they have played, they've been very massive. They've had very good score lines, winning on the road and then winning at home as well. I don't think this should cause any kind of unrest and then destabilize their consistency and performance on the pitch of play.
And when you look at Kofi Agbesima, he was a captain for Bechim United for more than 3 seasons. So, in terms of leadership quality, he's gotten it in the local scene for some time.
Maybe Ouattara has seen something.
So I think in training grounds and some of the matches that he has played as a player, we're conducting the whole year for the coach to choose him as a captain. And Richard Atta is now the #1 goalkeeper for Hearts of Oak Football Club. And of course, Kelvin Osiesi, even though he's injured, is a key player for Hearts of Oak Football Club. And I think the coach is looking at captains from the back. And the things Esibe, Abesima, and Richard Atta is the best choice for House of Football Club after Glasson Awaku and Mohamed Al-Hassan and the likes left the club. So I think it's a good choice for Kalu Ouattara. We're a bit steady club no, in the last 3 weeks, and he thinks this is the best choice for the club.
Okay. All right, so we're counting down to the kickoff in Nalerigu. Did I say it right? Anyway, ASANTE Kotoko take on KARELA United. Kickoff at the top of the hour. Before then, we'll hear from the coaches as well. Let's go for a quick break on the GPL. We'll be back very shortly.
Joining us is match day action in the Ghana Premier League, and as you can see, we are very much for joining us. It's match day action. Very much for joining us. It's match day action in the Ghana Premier League, and as you can see, we are situated in the northeast region, the regional capital Nalerigu. Thank you very much for joining us. It's match day action in the Ghana Premier League, and as you can see, thank you very much for joining us. It's match day action.
All right, welcome back. Countdown to the top of the hour. ASANTE KOTOKO, they've arrived in Nalerigu. Taking my time but Prince Annan is, on the ground, and obviously it's a new venue, first time, live coverage there. Prince Annan will definitely give us an update, and we'll be joining him in just a second. Let's see. Prince is ready. Let's find out what he has to tell us.
And welcome. Thank you very much for joining us. It's match day action in the Ghana Premier League, and as you can see, we are situated in the northeast region, the regional capital Nalerigu to be precise. But this afternoon's game is going to be at the Nalerigu Sports Center, where KARELA United, the home team, welcome ASANTE KOTOKO. The league is getting a lot more interesting and intriguing as every day passes by, and most of the teams would want to either settle themselves at the top, at the middle, or try to avoid relegation. Where KARELA lies now is dicey waters, but today they have an opportunity as they take on the Porcupine Warriors ASANTE KOTOKO. Let's take a look at what will go into the game today. KARELA is far away from their usual site of Enyinase, and then they transferred to Tamale, but they have decided to come here to Nalerigu to make the Nalerigu Sports Center their home base. ASANTE KOTOKO are the visitors for today. Looking ahead of the game, Kotoko say that they are here to pick up the 3 points. They haven't traveled this far for nothing. We'll find out from the leadership of the fans how they intend to do that. Plus, of course, we'll also be talking to KARELA, who are also going to be telling us how they intend to host Kotoko here this afternoon, and also to ensure that they keep the 3 points at home. We'll start off first with the visitors. Let's find out what they think. I have the chairman of the circles. He's traveled all the way from the Ashanti region to the northeast region. He travels everywhere the team goes, and he's here with the team today. Chairman, first of all, let's go straight into details.
Thank you very much. We are here to, win the 3 maximum point. You know, the supporters, we are the backbone of the team. So wherever the team goes, we must travel with the team. That's why we are here. When I went to the team's camps, the players, I could see their morale was very high when they saw me. But I've always been telling them that when we lose together. When we draw together. When we win together. So wherever they go, I'll be with them. That is why we are here. You know, I met KARELA at the Aliu Mama Sports Stadium at Tamale. They beat us 2-0. That was the FA Cup. They eliminated from the FA Cup. That is our motivation. We are going to stand on that and beat them today. I hope you remember during the first one when we played the Bebeni Gold Stars, they beat us by 2-1. Yes. We were drawn to play the FA Cup with them, and we beat them 1-0. Our motivation was the first lost in the league to them. That's why we beat them 1-0. So today we are here to play KARELA. This is a very nice ID face that we are going to play and they win. That's all.
Okay. KARELA is a team that is used to playing on AstroTurf. You remember when they were in Enyinase, they still had the AstroTurf. They've made the Nalerigu Sports Center their home ground now. You think they have an advantage today?
They don't have advantage. I would say KARELA, as we all know, was based in Enyinase. They came to Tamale. We are playing a neutral ground today. And at Enyinase, we once beat them 2-0 on the same AstroTurf where they used to train and play. We beat them 1-2-0. And we are here to play on that AstroTurf. Kotoko, we've played there on so many AstroTurf, even in Ghana here and outside the country. So when it comes to AstroTurf, we have players who can also play in AstroTurf, and that wouldn't deter us at all.
Now, for the fans, what are you looking forward to in this second round? It didn't start very well. You took a trip to Pando, but you didn't come with anything. But since then, it looks like Kotoko are picking up the pieces. What message do you have for the numerous Kotoko fans out there, especially for the second round?
The message I have for them is that we've been following football for years, for decades, and you've got to understand football. The results in football are 3. We have the lose, we have the draw, then we have the win. As a supporter, as a genuine supporter, if your team loses, that shouldn't be the end of you. So for supporting the team, that should even ginger you. But we are always the number 12 man. So if you don't come to the stadium to support the players and ask them to go and play, they will play and lose. So what I'm telling my supporters is that we want to win the league this season. And for that matter, we have to also play our part. Otunfo keep on telling the supporters that the team belongs to us. But sometimes I ask the supporters, is it true that the team belongs? Because our contribution is, very negligible. Understand? So if you want to be standing, if you want to stand and be counted, then we have to follow the team, whether bad or good. Then we follow. We look at the Europeans. Even when they lose the next match, the whole stadium will be full again. Let's ask ourselves why. It's because the team belongs to them. So I'm pleading with my supporters. If you want to win a league, it doesn't mean you wouldn't lose a match. It doesn't mean you wouldn't lose a match. Last 2 seasons when we played, we lost to what do you call it, Legon Cities. We lost by 3 goals to 1 at Babayara, but we still went ahead to win the league. That's true. So for the fact that we went to Pandu and couldn't win the league, or couldn't even draw and lost them, that doesn't mean we can't win the league. So we should rely behind the team, and when the players sees us, they become very happy and motivated. I'm the CEO of ASANTE Kotoko. I would say I'm the supporters. I'm the CEO. The team Kotoko, I'm the CEO. That's what I tell myself. So as a CEO of a company, the company should be dear to your heart. The growth of the company and everything should be dear to your heart. That is why I follow Kotoko anywhere you see me. So I'm emulating, I'm calling my supporters to also emulate me. Tomorrow when now the strength is no more there for me to travel, who will be doing that thing? So that's why I'm very happy whenever I see this guy at match venues. He has also been picking up. Even at Pandu, I couldn't go, I wasn't well, I couldn't go. But he was there. And he's a second member, second 76 at Swami magazine, that's in Kumasi. And he followed the team ever. So we should follow the team, and then we make the team happy. We give them the strength to always win for us to make happy.
Yep, very bullish talk from Macmenu. He's the Circles Chairman, Ashanti region, and you heard him say he's a CEO of the supporters. You cannot fault him for that. Very bullish, very confident, and if we can take anything from that, the mindset is to go and win at Nalerigu, Esther.
Victory is what matters the most. And,
not the talk.
And not the talk, and then in the long run, yes, I grown up there. I believe ahead of this crucial encounter, this is what they need. That is this kind of intrinsic motivation coming from them, knowing that they happen to be one of the biggest clubs that we have in the country, and then they've been playing, just like he rightly said, they've been playing a lot on AstroTurf, and they've even beaten KARELA before, way back in the United States during the Kwame Poku days, that they recorded a 2-1 victory. So this is a huge game for them, and they also understand the assignment on the ground, knowing that is this kind of motivation that would cheer the boys up, for them to know that this is not something new, and this is something that they've Kotoko as a club has always been trying their possible best in games. So today's game, after 90 minutes, shouldn't be an exception for them or prevent them from getting what is needed the most at the end of the game. No
doubt about it. Obviously, no excuse. The journey would have been cut a little bit, Dana, from Kumasi, not the usual 8, 9, maybe 10 hours, but maybe 4, 5 hours. That's not to complain that traveling, clubs when they travel far, they use that as an excuse when they don't perform well. No excuse on this one. Especially,
losing to Pandu House of Lions, the supporters would like to see an improved performance in our week games. That is why Mr. Menu was talking about, when you want to win the Ghana Premier League, matches like this, you need to pick the maximum 3 points. Matches already are started to say, pick 3 points to add up to the points already when you're in the Ghana Premier League. Some of them is the KARELA game, and it's a difficult grounds too. And going there, their mission is to survive in the Ghana Premier League. That is what KARELA had a core venue like this. So it's a big game. But he's the head coach for KARELA United.
Yeah. As I said, he's a CAF instructor, and not just the goalkeeper's side of things. He's very well knowledgeable, and Esther, I'm sure with his presence, confidence would also be high in the camp of KARELA.
Very, very huge confidence booster for them, and this is a coach that has been in the system for 4 years as a footballer himself, and then been in charge of the team, and then also I believe that he will be able to have a very good command over the players, and then with his experience to bear, he will be able to have quite a very good telepathy in the dressing room so far as their matches are concerned. And then looking at the experience of Abubakar Damba and what he brings to bear, both in his days as a player and then with what he has done so far in the football fraternity, I believe that this should be quite an easy one for him altogether.
An easy one, as in the position or the game? As
in the position of managing the team, KARELA, and then a little bit as well when it comes to the game.
Yeah, the Pokemon Warriors. I mean, the complex is almost complete. A cluster of, it's populated. Hopefully we'll see a lot of fans. Obviously, they're yet to arrive, and it's not full capacity seating, but it'll be interesting to see how the local fans take to KARELA in a cluster of schools or in the middle of a school. So let's see how it goes. I mean, look, Honourable Haruna Idrisu has now acquired the club, and he said he wants to really take it to the next level and inject a lot of professionalism.
Yeah, when you look at Haruna Idrisu, since he took over as KARELA owner, right from Inasi to Tamale, now Nalerigu, he's trying to improve the club. So during the second round, he brought in 1 or 2 players. In fact, in the first round, players who have struggled to get playing time in their respective clubs was brought into the KARELA team, and I think they've improved the club. So I think one of the teams I tipped to survive in the Ghana Premier League is KARELA United.
Yeah, well, hopefully we'll hear from the 2 managers very shortly, at least Oklu from the side of ASANTE KOTOKO and Abukari Damba as well. The weather conditions look good as well, so we should be in for a very entertaining game. I'm very curious to see how the fans will respond, not only to KARELA but ASANTE KOTOKO, the big team coming to town. Should be a fun, fair, occasion for the people of that place. And AstroTurf also does need water. People don't believe that, but it's true. Even though it's not natural grass, it softens the surface.
It softens it and then ensures that you have very smooth play as well whilst you're on it. And then the fans, as you rightly said, will be so much eager, and the anticipation will be very high. They will love to come all out and then have a very good game together, looking at the fact that KARELA United has been brought to their own doorsteps, and it has really been a very long time that fans in that part of Ghana have been able to get access to football or live game, just like they are going to witness today. So Kotoko coming all the way. It been their first game. Kotoko a big club, and KARELA also a big club so far as the league is also concerned. Definitely they will love to come out and then watch these players that have always been, they've always been watching them from afar on TV, and this is the best time for them to come to the stadium and see them personally.
Okay, so Abukari Damba standing by a pitch side. Let's hear from him first.
Coach, thank you. Going away from KARELA here, but KARELA are also wounded lions. They lost their last game against Legon Cities and would want to claw back some pride. For Kumasi ASANTE KOTOKO, what would be the game plan going into this match?
It's true, they lost their last game, but we also need these points desperately. So, like I said, we are going to give them a run for their money today.
You've given every indication that the second round is going to be an all-out performance by ASANTE KOTOKO, notwithstanding the fact that you lost your first game. Will the status quo continue? Is the plan still there for you to go all out in the second round, whether you are playing home or away?
Yeah, the plan is to get up there. So we are working gradually towards it. So we're going to go all out today to get our ultimate goal.
We wish you nothing but the best. Thank you very much.
Okay, Coach Damba and Coach Oklu speaking there to Prince Annan. We're a few minutes away from kickoff. Anything we can take from what they said? Anything we can pick from that?
Both of them are very cautious with what to say. I think if you look at Oklu and then if you look at Abubakar Damba, there was a bit of distinction between the two of them. Abubakar Damba is very confident on the other hand, but if you look at Coach Oklu, he was very meticulous and cautious of his words, and that tells you that the approach that they are heading into the game with, because playing on the road and not having the best of results in your last 2 encounters, it's something that they need to tread cautiously in order to avoid a defeat in it.
All right, they're ready. Let's join the first half. Action. Prince Annan is at commentary.
Hello everyone, and thank you very much for joining us. As match day action is the Ghana Premier League coming your way, and it's right here on Star Times. We definitely are bringing you nothing but the best when it comes to football made in Ghana. And this afternoon's encounter is coming from Nalerigu, the capital of the northeast region of the Republic of Ghana, where KARELA United Football Club stay at home and welcome the Porcupine Warriors ASANTE KOTOKO to a much anticipated game here today. Match day 20 in the Ghana Premier League, and we're looking forward to nothing but the best when it comes to association football. The turf is ready. Game is ready for association football as the match commissioner and officials will usher the 2 teams onto the field of play. Earlier on we saw the resplendent nature and visions from the turf, which has been kept up to the speed by virtue of the fact that the sprinklers are working in action. And with the sprinklers out of the way, the two teams get onto the field of play to tell us exactly what they are made of. The fans are also here in their numbers. We are ready in commentary position, and we'll be telling you a lot more about what to expect between Karela United and Asante Kotoko. My name is Prince Anan. And close by is a very good colleague of ours who will also be helping us throughout the commentary proceedings, Muntaka Mohammed Gariba of Diamond FM in Tamale. He has all the latest news on Karela United, and he definitely will be filling in the spaces and the blanks as we go on. But in the background, definitely the traveling fans of Asante Kotoko who have made the journey all the way from the Ashanti region, Kumasi to be precise, to be with us here in Nalerigu. It's Karela United who will be sporting their traditional home colors of the green and white, exchanging pleasantries with the officials, and then their guests. Kotoko will be captained this afternoon by the one and only Richmond Lamte, and he's got a battalion with him here today. Nothing but a lot of fireworks in the game. Should expect in terms of the lineup and positioning of the two teams. Let's start off first with Karela United Football Club. Ganiu Mohammed will be in goal, will be captained by Emmanuel Anafola, as I said. But let's watch out for Rashid Al Hassan, Maxwell Arthur, Abdul Fattah Mohammed, Abdul Latif, Giyasu Ibrahim. These are household names when it comes to the home side Karela United. Kotoko have their forceful battalion of Frederick Asari in goal. Richmond Lamte will be captaining the team. Henry Kwame Aintu will be in central defense duty. John Tedeku Rocky Dramina, Nicholas Osaibuns, and of course Peter Amadou Akwa will also be starting for Asante Kotoko. And from the kind of pairings we have seen today, that's the head coach, Abukari Damba Abdul Rahman. Need to get the name right. Abukari Damba Abdul Rahman, that's the head coach of Karela United, former Ghanaian international, former national goalkeeper. And on the bench with him is Yakubu Nassam, who will be handling the goalkeepers. And for Kumasi Asante Kotoko, of course, head coach Dr. Prosper Nate Ogum will ensure that nothing but the best is in store for the Porcupine Warriors. It's an away game for them, but they are looking at a positive attitude in this game. Their first away game, that's Dr. Prosper Nate Ogum, their first away game was in Pando, where Kotoko lost. And let's see whether they can bounce back into this game. Let me pick up the thoughts of Muntaka Mohammed Gariba briefly before proceedings begin here at the Na Sheriga Sports Complex.
Well, thanks so much, Prince, for this wonderful opportunity once again. I'm excited to be here this afternoon, and I must admit that it's going to be a very, very difficult encounter between both sides. If you consider the last 7 games that both teams have encountered against each other in all competitions, you realize that Kotoko has not been finding it so easy anytime they come up against Karela United, and we should expect, that particular difficulty in today's game too as well.
Tough encounter, definitely it would be in the game. Peter Amadou Akwa is looking good. Eric Zeze, surprising starter for Kotoko. He was on the bench, but has to take the place of Baba Yahya. And of course, he will be supported in the game by Nicholas Mensah, another prodigy when it comes to the Kotoko lineup. Desem Mokwala feels comfortable scoring goals away from the Baba Yara Stadium. Let's see whether he can increase the tally that he has so far in the game. Officials for today, Yakubu Hasim will be in charge. Mohamed Tijani and Trinibua Kodua Kenneth will be supporting. And our fourth official is Husseini Alfa Ba Ade. Tough encounter it would be. Karela United. It looks like the town of Nalerigu has been taken over by the green and white colors, Gariba.
Exactly, and it's not surprising at all. If you were here last week against when they are now against Lagos Cities, you realize that this particular place was actually filled to capacity, and it's not surprising at all that a lot more of them are actually here to support Karela United.
Good game we're expecting here today. The captain's armband is on Abdul Fattah Mohammed. That's a regular face that which needs no introduction. Former captain of Accra Hearts of Oak. And of course settling down in his regular role for Karela, and he'll be spearheading the onslaught for the home side here this afternoon. They've got a very strong squad in Karela. Got a few players they can rely on as well to get them goals. The likes of Atakumi Abdul Ayer, and there the referee's whistle goes for the commencement of proceedings. Kotoko are playing from right to left as you watch your screens, and they are in the traditional all red outfit. Karela United will be defending the left side of the terrain, and the fans, there's a long queue from the various entry points waiting to get into the stadium to have a feel of Ghana Premier League football. And we just hope and pray that they would all find spaces to fill as Kotoko have their first throw in. Needs clearance by Karela. And as the game wears on, we'll get into the statistics and let you know how both sides have fared in the competition so far. But that's an early cross by Kotoko. There's a header. Cleared away by Fattah Mohammed. Safety first. It's the first incursion by the Porcupine Warriors, Garba.
And that's quite an interesting one coming in. The ball in from the right-hand side. Fattah Mohammed, I must say, has actually dealt with the ball so well. Other than that, this should have been the opener for the Porcupine Warriors. Easy clearance from Abdul Fattah. Kotoko will still have the advantage as they come forward. Referee's whistle goes this time. The advantage will stay with the home side. Kotoko have some defending to do at this stage. Last 9 meetings between these two sides, Karela won 2 of them, Kotoko won 3, and 4 ended in draws. It tells you that Karela United are almost always a matchup for Kotoko anytime they battle, be it home or away. Some interesting results. We'll be sharing that with you as well as we go through, but it's a free kick advantage. Karela, and it's a very long one. Going forward, Kotoko will have a lot of defending to do. Henry Ansu is in charge of central defensive duties for Kotoko. His regular partner, Niruddin, starts on the bench. Ball picked up nicely by Karela as they come forward. Dutifully says it's Solomon Abuaji, but he can't find way through. The forest of legs of Kotoko sets the ball away. Desemukwala has been dispossessed. And as Karela has they taken charge, Maxwell Arthur, nicely done. He sends the ball all the way back, and then there's a long surge forward. The header is on. It's a 2v1 situation. Karela player goes down. And if anything, if what we've seen is anything to go by so far, Gariba, we are in a game.
Yeah, I mean, we should expect Gias Ibrahim coming hard on hard, I must admit, against John Jericho in the Kotoko defense. He should expect more pressure from this particular young chap.
Ball controlled by Desemukwala on the far side. Peter Aqua comes through. Sometimes gets very industrious, Peter, as he comes forward. But this time around, better forest of legs. Kotoko take over. Now there's a thrust, a forward movement by Karela on the near side. Try to go through the middle. It looks good for Karela as Kotoko come multiplying in numbers in defense. No problems at all for goalkeeper Frederick Asari.
And once again, that's Gias Ibrahim, like I just